Welcome back, everybody. It's your favorite two people on the internet, on the podcast. It is me, Ron Deasy, and we got my host,
Mr. Awesome.
Hey, we are back. We are back. So we're gonna say this now. Spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, please exit to the left. If you don't care about spoilers or you are seeing it, stay here. Let's take a seat, buckle up. We got some interesting stuff. So, Black Panther. Let's go with our rating first.
Okay, you go first.
I was gonna say I'll start off. So, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Comparing it to the first one one's better.
I would agree with that.
First one's better. I would give the first one 9.5, almost a 10. This one I'll give it. Now I gotta be considerate that they had to do an audible, after what happened with Chadwick.
Can't argue with that.
So I'll give this, if I give the first one 9.5, I'll give this one a solid 8. 7.58. Let's do a 7.75.
Okay.
No, I'll give it 8. I'll give it 8 for the audible. Yeah. Okay. I'll give it 8.
Okay. Is that
go ahead?
All right. We're really close, man. We're really close on a lot of things. Yeah, 7.58. I gotta say the same thing.
Right.
First movie was definitely better, and I would say 9 or 9.5. I think the only reason I don't give the original Black Panther a 10, honestly, because I thought the movie was really, really good all the way through for the most part, except for the end fight was a little bit weak, and I didn't like the CG was kind of crappy in the end fight, which should have been like the best part, and it wasn't. So that kind of bothered me. But Black Panther was like a really good movie, so I can't argue with that. And I went in with high expectations, dude, because it was the same. You said it was the same director, right?
Yeah, Ryan Coogler.
I'm waiting to, and there was just some parts that kind of lulled a little bit, dragged on. It kind of felt like.
Yeah.
So we'll get into all that, as we go through the whole movie. But that's what I'll give it as well, about 7.58.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad movie. It just didn't live up to its predecessor. So, and again,
that's hard to do.
And we don't have Chadwick, so that's a major okay, how they're gonna do this, And they stuck to the comics by, and you guys can tell by the trailer that Shuri took the mantle of Black Panther.
Yep. Which I was really hoping the girlfriend would.
Yeah. There were speculations. So I heard rumors that there was most likely going to be more than one Black Panther in this movie. So there are some people that said that M'Baku was going to be Black Panther for maybe parts of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then people were like, oh yeah, it's going to be Shuri. And some other people said, I think her name is Nikita.
Yeah, Nakia or Nikita, something like that. Yeah.
They probably said that she was going to be Black Panther. They also said that she was going to be pregnant, and that's how she was going to be able to take the mantle.
Mm-hmm.
But none of those happened except Shuri. What else did I hear? They were trying to say that first it was like, oh, they're going to get Killmonger back. But then we know what happened with that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I think that's all I heard. Oh, there was no Doctor Doom references. I kept on hearing that Doctor Doom was going to be some involvement in this movie, but
no. But I think he is in Wakanda's
right?
future in some way.
Okay,
I do. There's a lot of hints to other parts of things that have actually happened in the comics before. So we'll get into that too. As we go, but I don't think Doctor Doom is ruled out of this happening soon with Wakanda.
Right.
But it wasn't in this movie. You're right.
Yeah, so I know that there's some people were saying that that whole heist part where they go into like that ship, and they're trying to rob the people there for the vibranium.
Hmm.
They're saying that was supposed to be like something with Doctor Doom, like, and maybe that could have been it. Maybe those henchmen were probably hired by Doctor Doom, because we didn't find out who they were actually under. We didn't know what country they were from.
Yeah, just some government entity, but you
Just
don't
some,
know.
yeah.
You don't know who.
But for the most part, no references of Doctor Doom. But there is references of mutants,
Oh
which
yeah.
is Namor,
Hmm.
and he said it. He's like, I was a mutant, and we're like, okay, cool. That's one thing. Let's go into spoilers now. Or you want to say anything else before we go into spoilers?
No, you go ahead. I wasn't really sure
Yeah.
how we were gonna break this down. If we were gonna run it down from beginning to end, or just kind of go into it. So.
So that's one thing I didn't like about the movie is Namor's how he got his ability. I felt like they just threw that in there. Like it wasn't. It felt it didn't. I felt like it didn't give enough. It wasn't. How should I put this? Wasn't a lot of thought into it.
Mm,
To me, they're
okay.
like, oh yeah, we're praying to the gods, and they do use a lot of references, a lot of mythology, um, and history from like that culture. So, Kuku 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 Khan, that's a real like,
Yeah, Kulakan or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
is a real god in that culture. And he's really like a serpent, or that god is like a serpent. So
Serpent with wings or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a real thing. But the whole part where his family, or his mom, and that tribe was like dying with smallpox. That was a good how they added it in there, like the Europeans came and brought smallpox and stuff like that. So that was a good thing right there. Like I like how they brought like real history in there.
Yeah.
But they prayed to the gods, and they found this herb in the water. That's the part I didn't like. I
Okay.
felt like I feel like that was just like, didn't really think of like anything else. They could have did something else, but I didn't like that part of that
Okay.
story. What about you?
I'm gonna disagree. I actually didn't mind that at all. I thought it was kind of cool. It almost reminded me of Blade, like because
Mm-hmm.
he was in the womb. He kind of
Yeah,
gets all their strengths and none of their weaknesses.
yeah,
you know. And I thought they had to do. I honestly, I think they had to do that or something like that because they needed a way to recreate the plant in some way. And if they
mm,
didn't have that, and the part where he gives her the
necklace. Oh, that's the
bracelet or
necklace, the
whatever it
bracelet.
is,
Yeah,
she wouldn't be able to make the plant. I don't know if there would have been any other way to do it because Killmonger took them all out. They're all gone.
yeah.
There was no part of it. So if they never found that plant and had vibranium for themselves, I don't know if and maybe the vibranium is what creates the plant. Maybe the
Yeah,
vibranium that interacts with the soil is what
yeah,
creates it. Maybe that's why only you know Wakanda and Talokan, what's it called?
yeah.
I
Something
think.
like that.
Yeah, had it. So that didn't bother me as much. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah,
Uh, but go on.
I didn't like it. But anyways, what was I gonna say? That opening, the opening scene, that was they didn't waste no time.
I liked that actually.
Yeah,
That didn't bother me at all. I thought the way that they handled it and they never showed his face once and all that stuff was good. And I really enjoyed the Marvel sign. It was super cool.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Had it
So,
all purple.
yeah. And I think it
Um,
was like almost quiet when they did it, right? Like
yeah,
almost like a
it
moment of
was.
silence for him,
Yeah,
which is that's
definitely.
nice. So
Yeah, but yeah, the opening scene, it wastes no time. And it set the mood for the rest of the movie almost. Like Shuri is a different person in this movie.
oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But let's go start to finish. So the opening scene, they didn't they just say that, T'Challa dies of a disease. And Shuri's trying to make a synthetic heart or something like that for him. And was it a synthetic heart?
No, I think they were trying to make the heart shaped herb again to
Oh,
to help
oh,
him with it
Okay.
because of its recuperative powers and its strength and whatever, and she couldn't do it because she didn't have the
Yeah.
plant. So she was trying to recreate it with like almost nothing, and the best
Yeah.
she could get I think was like 29%,
Yeah. And
and
she's like,
then
this is
yeah.
gonna have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And before she could get to her brother, the mom comes out and says, your brother's with the ancestors, and they have the ceremony. Um, and Shuri's just really just like she takes it harder than the mom.
Yeah,
Um,
she does.
way harder. And like Shuri's just not she's not like, yeah, get all that superstitious away from me. Like my brother's dead. Um your healing techniques is not gonna work, okay?
Yeah,
I'm not for it. And she was just not with it.
yeah, she's
Um
angry the whole movie basically.
yeah, she is. A lot of hurt, didn't heal from it. Um
And that's even a
and
year later, and that's where it goes to after the Marvel Sciences. 1 year later, and
mm-hmm.
the mom, I forget her name, is but whatever, the queen is
Yeah.
going to a meeting, with all these different diplomats from different governments, and while she's there, they're showing an attack on one of their outreach places,
Yeah.
right? Or kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
outreach. They go there to try to steal vibranium, and they get wrecked.
Yeah. Yeah, it
The
was a
Dora
setup.
Milaje is just there waiting for them, and they tear them up. They don't kill anybody. They
Yeah.
shock them all into like submission, and
Yeah.
then they bring him into the. They basically bring all of them into the room, and basically call out exactly what government they're from.
Mm-hmm.
From I think the French, right?
Yeah.
Uh, which was awesome. And they're just like, let me tell you something right now. You think just because our king's gone, we're weak? We are
Yeah.
not weak.
Right.
Let this be known the next time this happens, there won't be survivors.
Right.
But
Yeah. I'm showing you grace.
yeah,
Okay.
basically. And then you get to the ship attack. Why don't you take it away from there?
The ship attack. So yeah. So the government has
Oh, let me just
been
say one thing too
yeah.
before they say you can't come to Wakanda to take vibranium, but good luck on your search finding it anywhere else. And that's where it goes to the ship.
Yeah. So they actually found it. So there's like it's not like an oil rig or some
I
type of
mean,
rig in
kind
the
of like
ocean.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
just some sort of digging rig.
And one of the machines finds strikes gold, strikes vibranium. And so two people go down in their little and it's down there. And so they got these special suits that could take that pressure on the water, and they see it, and then shit just goes left.
I guess
The
there's no
way
better way to
that
put it.
yeah, it's like the worst thing that can happen. You're in the darkness of the ocean.
Yep.
Power goes out.
No
Your
defense.
partner, you look to your left, your partner's gone. And then you just see something in the darkness get you, right? Communication goes out. They're in the rig, like, yo, we have an attack. And then you hear what sounds like a siren out in the ocean. And the
Yeah.
siren is like it's coming from what they call it, the telecons.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's coming from them, and it's hypnotizing all the soldiers on the rig, and they start jumping off the rig until and only two of them like caught on to this, and so they get the ear plugged and trying to escape to the helicopter, and meanwhile the telecons are coming onto the rig, taking everybody out, and it looks like the two people plus the pilot. No. Looks like the two people are about to escape, except one of them. So the girl gets on the helicopter. They go away. The telecons are on the helipad just looking, and then you see them look to something else. And all of a sudden, the helicopter gets like pulled back, gets swung, and get thrown in the ocean.
Total superhero
like,
movie action, right?
Right.
There.
You're like, whoa, right? So you can almost tell who that was. And you know what? I don't remember Namor having wings on his feet originally.
I think he did. I'm pretty
I don't
sure.
remember. I don't remember. I
Yeah.
have to look back. But because I know for this movie they had to like event the origins of Namor
Yeah.
because
Yeah, they did.
it was too much similar to Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
So they purposely like, okay, let's add some Aztec culture into there, and that's where they got that god from.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people said they had to change it because it would have been too much like Aquaman.
Yeah,
Even
too
though I'm
much.
sure that's what the comics did, because comics stole from each other all the time back then when they were
Yeah, there was,
creating
yeah.
things.
Speaking of it was Deadpool was a parody off of Deathstroke.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many, yeah, so many. Um, so what goes on after the rig? I forget what happens after the rig.
So the rig, and then they do the ritual where they get together with the fire,
Mm-hmm.
um and they're talking about how to start healing, and
Oh yeah,
she says you want to burn his funeral garments, and that kind of like lets him pass, and that's when she
yeah,
kind of goes off. She's like, I don't want to do any of this, you
yeah,
know. And then immediately after that, Nate Namor or Namor, or however you want to say it, comes out of the water out of nowhere. He's just there,
yeah.
and he's like,
Spooks the elephants,
yeah,
and he comes out.
and he's covered in vibranium,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, you're not the only ones with vibranium. You're the ones who started this by sharing. Basically, in so many words, says you didn't have to share anything with the world, and now that you have, they know vibranium exists, and
And
now they're
soon
looking
enough,
for it elsewhere, and they
yep,
found it where I rule, and you need to bring me the person that created this machine.
yeah.
And that's pretty much the long and the short of that. And then you find out that's when we go to oh man, I never can remember his name. He's the guy from Sherlock and stuff.
Oh, the
The
agent, the
yeah,
colonizer,
the agent.
the
Yeah,
colonizer.
yeah, her
Yeah,
favorite colonizer.
yeah,
That was pretty funny when she said
right.
that. Yeah, go ahead, go from there.
Yeah, going back to when Namor first appears, they're shocked because nobody gets through Wakanda's defense,
Mm-hmm.
and he was able to get through it no problem by himself. And he actually dropped the machine that with it, they didn't even notice it.
Yeah, I think there
But
was
he
more in
actually,
there that they didn't even notice. I think
yeah,
there
he
were
dropped the
more
machine
of.
behind Shuri and the Queen,
Yep.
and that's when they, okay, we gotta find. They go to the colonizer. We say we need to find who made this machine. They give the student, and that's how we get introduced to Ironheart.
Yeah,
And I
Riri
forget her
Williams.
name, Reed Williams. Yeah, there we go. And so Shuri and Okoye, is that, I think her name?
Okoye. Yep.
Okoye, yeah, they're the only ones that go. And before I go any further, the Queen didn't want Shuri to go,
Nope.
but Okoye thought it was a good idea to get her out instead of
Yeah,
being
she
stuck in
insisted. She said she
Wakanda.
needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go, and this is probably my favorite part of the movie. Shuri, and the world knows about Wakanda. So, uh, what's her name? Riri?
Yeah, or Ironheart. You can call her whatever.
Yeah, Ironheart recognizes. Oh, you're the princess. You're the princess. And so they, Shuri gives the breakdown. Hey, you built this machine. People are coming after you. We gotta get you out of here. Go to the dorm. And by the way, Shuri tells Okoye, "Hey, let me handle this, okay? Because you are aggressive. Let me handle this, right?"
Yeah.
Okay, goes, "You got 5 minutes, okay?"
And she
So
took
Shuri,
6. All right. To be
yeah.
fair, she took 6.
So a favorite part of the movie, they're in the dorm room. Her and Ironheart. Ironheart's getting her stuff, and she's like, "Yeah, let me get my stuff. Let's get out of here. Come on, come on, come on." She goes to the bathroom and she goes, "Oh!" And okay. What's her name?
Okoye.
Okoye comes out, and I'm like, "How the hell did she get in that bathroom?" And then Shuri's like, "I told you I got it." It's like, "I gave you 5. I told you you have 5 minutes. I gave you 6. Now come on, let's make haste." I was like, "Yo, that Okoye is a badass." Like,
Yeah, she is.
there was no other way. I mean, unless she came in through the
And
window.
Baco and Okoye, they're my favorites.
Yeah. So fast forward, they go to they have to get the plans. The plans are all on the computer, which is at Ironheart's shop.
Mm-hmm.
And so the CIA's been watching them ever since. So they surround them, and that's when you get to see Ironheart's Mark One suit.
Yeah, which I really
And
thought was so cool, man. I like that she had
right,
the heart in the middle of it too. I
yeah,
thought that was really cool.
and it's very very Mark One, on the same level as Iron Man's Mark One. You
Yeah.
know, it's not even a full helmet. It's I think she only had goggles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only goggles.
Yeah, she definitely didn't have protection all over her body. It was basically
Right,
just a way to make her fly and shoot weapons without being
right,
safe.
right. She was like her whole body was like almost exposed. Maybe like what 80% of her body was still
Which I thought was
exposed.
so cool about it.
Yeah. So they escape. We get a little car chase. And they try and get to the extraction point, and that's when they encounter the Telecons.
Mm-hmm.
But Namor's not there for some reason. He just, send his people. And we get a great battle between
Great battle.
Okoye and I forget that guy's name. It was like Namor's right hand man.
I like to, before we get to the battle, I like the part where because it almost reminded me of Iron Man 1 again, where the spy satellite comes out of nowhere because the government
Yeah.
basically runs up on them and they got to escape, right?
Yeah.
So they're all driving away. They split up into 3 groups, and the spy satellite comes out of nowhere and it's tracking them. So Ironheart's like, I'll take care of it. And she's got to go way, way, way up high. And it reminds me just of the same thing of where Jarvis warns him, like, you really shouldn't exceed this feat because you could freeze or whatever. And he's like,
Yeah.
records are made to be broken, let's go. she's like I'm going up, I don't care. So she goes up, there's almost no oxygen left, takes out the spy satellite, which is super sick, and then just like passes out.
Right.
Falls almost to her death and wakes up just in time, just like when Tony Stark fell, broke the ice, and
Yep.
back out, like just before. It reminded me a lot of the first Iron
Yeah.
Man, which was kind of a cool nod, Easter egg, I guess you could say,
Right.
to what it was. And then talk about the battle on the street. That's awesome.
Yeah, the battle on the bridge. So Okoye takes out, I think there was like 4 of them. 4 of the henchmen of the Telecons. And this is what I had to realize. I was like,
You didn't realize that Okoye was a badass yet? It
No.
took that long until you figured it out?
No. They're only blue when they're out the water.
I noticed that too.
It took me
Yeah.
a while. I was like, wait, they were like regular skin color in the water. Why are they blue again?
And the whole time, all I'm thinking of is there's water in those masks. Just rip that freaking mask off, man. They probably got to
Right.
bail. You
Right.
know? But that didn't happen. I was like, all right, whatever.
So she takes out 4 of them and they look defeated, right? And then she goes against like the leader, not Namor, but his right hand man.
Yeah, I don't know what that dude's name
And
is.
that is a fight right there.
Yeah,
that was
it's-
her match.
Yeah.
That was her match, and she lost that one. She lost. I mean, granted, she did take out 4 other ones,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
she's probably a little
for
tired.
sure. He's got some honor too, man. She lost
Yeah.
her weapon and he gave it back to her.
Yeah,
He wanted a good fight, And
But,
like she couldn't believe that her weapon got repelled too. She was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is vibranium on vibranium. Okay, well,
yeah.
okay."
It's the first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he does this one thing where he jams her spear in the ground, pulls her forward, and just boom, knocks her shoulder out of place.
Yeah.
And everybody in the theater were like, ooh,
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
damn. That I felt that.
Yeah. It didn't feel good.
And her being savage, she snaps it back in place eventually. But then they take Shuri and Ironheart and they go back to Telecon.
So after the bridge fight, after they take Shiri and everything, they go back to the daytime where they're all investigating what happened on the bridge. They find remnants of things, but they're all missing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's her favorite colonizer. Again, I don't know his name. And also Val is there, who's going to be like the leader of the Thunderbolts and all that stuff soon. So
If you guys don't know who Val is, Val was she first introduced in Black Widow?
either Black Widow Black Widow and then Hawkeye, I believe. Actually, no.
Right.
I think she was introduced before that. She was in Falcon and Winter Soldier at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she recruits U.S. agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's Val, and you find out that she's like CIA now.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, like head of CIA or something like that. And you also find out that our favorite colonizer is her husband, her ex-husband.
Right. Everett Ross.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Okay. Cool. Everett Ross. All right. So they're walking and looking around, and he said, "I don't think that the Wakandans did this or whatever." And
Mm-hmm.
as he's looking for evidence, he finds these beads, and uh, after he finds those beads, he kind of walks away, gets rid of her, and calls uh, the queen,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So that's where yeah,
Yeah,
calls the queen and lets him know, and then he's like, "Yo, something happened. This, and that." And you know, Everett Ross hasn't forgot what Sherry did for him in the last movie. You know, saved his life. So he owes the Wakandans like favors on favors on favors.
yeah.
So he keeps it under wraps.
How much is your life worth?
Yeah, keeps it under wraps. You know, and just they start just working together, try to figure out what's going on. And um, we fast forward to the council back at Wakanda, and Okoye loses her badges. She's now no longer general. She got stripped because the queen's like, "Yo, I told you I didn't want my daughter to go, and you lost my daughter." She's like, "I lost my husband."
Just saying that in a really nice way, man. She was
Yeah,
fired up. She
right,
was pissed. It's like it was almost like Shiri's rage just like got passed upon her, man. She
right.
was pissed.
And this is where you see. This is the part you see in the trailer where the queen's like, Have I not given you everything?" Because okay is like, okay, I can't say her name. Oh, God
Okoye.
dang, Okoye. She's like, she's trying to plead, like, "Yo, please, I'm giving you everything, my life." Like, and that the queen's like, "What? You gave me everything? I gave my husband, I gave my son, and now my daughter's gone. Haven't I given you everything?" And she's like, "Yo, you're stripped. Bye." And that was a sad moment. Like,
Yeah, dude.
yeah, I was like, "Damn."
Almost got a tear for me on that one. I'm not gonna lie, because I
Right,
really like Okoye, man. She's like one of my
right,
favorite characters. Like I said, she didn't deserve that. And like all she wants to do is just to go get her. She just wants to redeem herself, even if she's demoted or not. She just wants the chance to go get her, die in battle or whatever. And
right.
she doesn't even give her that.
Yeah. So then we go to Tolkien where Ironheart and Shuri are being held captive, and Namor is like he's trying to be as nice as possible, respectful in a
Yeah,
way. He's like, yeah, let me show you around my city.
I like what
And this
Ironheart
is
says though, man. It's so funny. He's giving you a dress. That's some super villain shit. I've seen it a bunch of times, man. They dress you up the way they like, and then
yeah. Now this is a part where I felt like it was kind of dragged.
yeah,
Where they're showing
I
you the whole
agree.
city and everything. And the first thing I thought was, huh, the underwater stuff, Aquaman did it better.
They totally did it better. I would
Yeah.
agree. I
I
feel like,
thought,
and I don't know why they. People use things all the time. It's a directive choice. If you feel that it just didn't work, why didn't you just go the way that they did? Because it worked really well.
yeah,
I don't know why anyone who ever did underwater again would not do it the way that Aquaman did it. I thought they
right.
did it so well.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Come
So
on,
I
Marvel.
agree with you completely. I
Still
think
it.
that's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
reason it got downgraded a little bit because man,
It did, yeah.
the other movie did it better, dude. You got beat. Like
Yeah. And then, I can kind of tell like those people, the telecons on the water, these were the actors really underwater because you could tell like they're like trying to hold their breath, but trying
yeah.
to show like expression like they're not holding their
Hmm.
breath. And it's like, yeah,
That's
Aquaman
hard.
did it better.
I mean,
Yeah.
respect for trying to do it the authentic way, but at the same time,
Right, right,
man, you
right.
put people through a lot of stuff that they probably didn't need to go through.
Right.
And oh, I had another thought, and now I lost it. Go ahead, just keep going.
So while they're exploring Telecon, the queen goes and finds Nikita, who is now teaching in Haiti. Yeah, in Haiti, right?
Uh, yeah, something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Oh, that's right. The underwater. That's when I realized that they're not blue anymore. They're normal
yeah. The regular
colors.
skin. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, that's when you
that's when
realized
I
it.
figured it out. Yeah.
Okay,
It's like,
okay.
okay, go ahead. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, yeah. So the queen goes by herself to go visit Nikita, and
Yep.
the reason why, because like Nikita is known to infiltrate and find people, places that nobody else could. So she's like, "Hey, I know
She's a
you're
savage.
not part of. Yeah, I know you're not part of Wakanda no more. You'll live here no more. But hey, they got my daughter, your friend. I need your help." And Nikita does her investigation, and she ends up finding where they're having her. And then another way was
That's the other thing I didn't like too, man. How did you get through all those people and no one
yeah,
noticed you?
it was
I'm
too
like, I
easy.
don't.
Yeah,
You need to show me how that happened. That actually annoyed me a lot. I was like,
yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
It was too easy. Yeah,
Yeah, way
definitely.
too easy, man. Give me
Even
a
though
fight
Shuri
before
had
that,
like
or
tracking devices on, it was still like it
show
only had to
show
face
me
what?
some Metal Gear shit, some Silent Assassin stuff. You know, just like put him to sleep. I don't care. Do something. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way you encountered no
She only had
interference.
what? She only had to fight like what, two people, two
Yes,
guards? And they were
that's
like
it.
women? I think they're women too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, that's not the problem, though. I mean, women can fight just as good as
yeah, yeah.
guys. All
But
right.
they
What are you
weren't
trying to
warriors.
say, Ron?
No, they weren't warriors. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, they were warriors.
Yeah. They're just like maids or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it
Actually,
was like
his
not a
other
fight.
right hand actually is a girl, and she's a badass too.
Yeah.
Forget what her name is, of course.
So Nikita ends up saving Shuri and Ironheart. In the midst of that, Nikita injured and ended up killing one of the women, and
Which
that
I
kind
think
of
she could have saved, man. All she needed was the beads.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. I think that's a huge mistake. Like, she could have left those beads with her. Who cares? You
right,
know what I'm saying? Some of that stuff just didn't make sense to me. I get why it
yeah,
had to happen because then the battle happens, but
hmm
it really didn't need to happen. I
yeah.
just
So then we get to Namor. It's like, yeah, this is war now. You killed one of my people, and gives a speech, and that's where you see in the trailer too when he comes down and he has like the headgear on.
oh yeah, with the
And
sun above him too. That
yeah,
part
the
was
sun above
sick.
him,
I
and
really
he's in the
liked that part. I thought that looked super sick.
yeah,
Some big ass
and
freaking mouth with teeth like that they killed. You know,
yeah.
like, it was cool.
So gives a speech. He's like, yeah, we're gonna attack Wakanda. And before that, Namor is trying to discuss with Shuri, like, yo, let's be allies. Um, the surfacers. Do they call them the surfacers? Yeah,
Basically, yeah, the surface world, surface dwellers, whatever.
yeah,
But yeah, he's basically saying like, I plan to attack the surface dwellers,
yeah,
and I want your help because
yeah,
eventually they're gonna come for you anyway.
yeah,
Eventually, we're gonna be allies,
yeah.
so
They're
we may as well just do
greedy.
it now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're greedy. We have like the same past. This is what they did to my people. Like, I have to protect my people, and they're going to get close. This is going to happen sooner or later. So they get that speech, and Shuri, she's just like, there has to be another way. And Namor's like, I wish there was, but he's like, no.
I mean, I'm a nice guy, but I I can see this coming.
Yeah.
This is happening.
So we get to Wakanda, and Namor again, sneaks through. You know what I wish they would have happened?
Mm.
I wish they would have used more of the sea, like the whales. I
Oh
wish they
yeah,
would
that would
like,
have been cool.
yeah. I wish they would, or more sea animals
Or
to,
maybe use them to fight.
octopus or something. Maybe call upon a giant
Oh
squid. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
I wish they
yeah.
would have did more, utilize that more.
Yeah, I
Because
think
you
all they
see
did was the whales, actually, nothing
yeah,
else.
it was just like a killer whale and then maybe a humpback whale. That's all they had.
Yeah.
I wish there was more. But anyways, they attack Wakanda,
With the
and
sirens first, too, which I thought was
but
pretty
it's,
cool.
yeah,
I really like those sirens. I thought that was clever. I don't know if they're in the comics or not, but I thought that was really neat. I'm like, oh
yeah.
man, they got those.
And that just shows you like they're kind of OP, right? Those telecons are
They
OP in
are.
the water.
I
In the
like how they
water.
took them out there. They're like, cut that shit out. And they throw a bomb in there. Boom.
Yeah.
Take all those sirens out.
And so then we see, we fast forward, and this is something I didn't see coming. you see this in the trailer where Namor is flying,
Mm-hmm.
and before I get to that, him taking out those jets,
Yeah.
Wakanda jets.
Sick, dude. He
Namor's
was just like
OP
moving in
also.
the air, man. He reminded me
Right,
of Sanji from One Piece, where he could like
right.
propel himself in the air with his feet. I was like, oh, that's so sick the way he's fighting. And then
Yeah.
I also liked when M'Baku went after him, and he just got whooped.
Oh yeah. He just went boom. He's like, get out of
He's
here.
lucky he didn't get through a second piece. He's like,
Yeah, right. OP.
Yeah, he's definitely really
So
strong. They need
yeah,
somebody really really powerful to take him on, and they don't have that right now.
right. They didn't have that. So now we get fast forward to where you see in the trailer where Namor's flying and behind the glass you see the Queen,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh, he can't get. I'm thinking like, oh yeah, he can't get past that, but he has like a water bomb.
Yeah, once there's a crack, man, you can get through it.
Yeah, gets a water bomb, throws it.
Yeah, what's there like 30 in there? Just like
Yeah,
it just throws a ton of water bombs at it.
yeah, made a tidal wave in there.
Yeah.
And that's where Shuri's not in there. It's just the Queen and Ironheart. Shuri's off
Yeah.
trying to help the city
Mm-hmm.
with other soldiers, and just the Queen and Ironheart's in that one floor, and it gets flooded, and Ironheart is drowning because she's like unconscious in the water.
Mm-hmm.
The Queen goes to save her, and we find out that the Queen drowns.
Yeah. Saving Ironheart.
Saving Ironheart.
Uh,
So Shuri and everybody else gets in there and they try to revive the Queen, and I thought they were.
I didn't.
thought they were going to revive the Queen. No, I
No.
thought so.
Nah, I didn't think they were both gonna make it.
Oh man, yeah. So I thought they were going to revive the Queen, but they didn't. And we have another funeral. I'm like, oh, again? Oh no!
How much is this girl gonna lose, right?
Not
And I
Angela
felt really
Bassett.
bad about that one too. That almost got another
Right.
tear out of me. That was it's pretty sad, man. I'm not gonna lie, dude. This had some good dramatic moments.
Right.
You know, it didn't have the pace that I wanted. I guess, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to somebody and I'm like, this is this movie was half drama, half action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And this is a 2 hour
20%
40.
lull.
Yeah. This is a 2 hour 40-minute movie.
It's a long
So,
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're trying to figure out what to do. Oh, and this is the thing I didn't understand. Why did Namor give him a chance to recover?
Oh, it's honor. You know, because he really does still want to be, kind of still wants to be allies with them. Because I
Huh.
think he needs them. I don't think he can. I'm not sure if he can actually beat, the surface dwellers without them. I think if
That's right, on the surface. Okay.
right, because if they
Yeah.
join with the topsiders, he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
So,
Which we find out later.
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it seems pretty obvious. Why would you take her and honor everything, and not to treat her like gold? You don't want to start any trouble, and then you lost your calling card, so you gotta make a statement. But again, yeah, he was like, bury your dead, mourn, because he knows the queen's dead, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, I can't do anything after this. I gotta leave this be a bit. Plus, I think he likes Shiri. I mean, he was really nice to her and stuff the whole time. So,
Right.
But I that's me. That's what I think. I think it's just an honor thing. In Japan, I think they would have wars and fights, and then, once the battle ended, they would let them take their dead and stuff like that.
Mm.
Bury them, stuff before the next battle started.
Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, I think it's a war thing.
So they try to figure out what to do, and Shuri comes up with a plan. Like, oh yeah, I got these bracelet, and they're made out of the leaf that Namor had. She's like, well, maybe I could make the synthetic plant, the heart herb plant, whatever it's called. And so,
Yep.
she's working on it. And in the meantime, Riri's is making her other armor.
Yeah.
So everybody's working.
Which I thought looked cool, but at the same time, it didn't have the heart on it. I kind of was bummed about that. I
thought it did.
I didn't notice any type of heart on there. I just saw this little thing here, but it was like, I mean, I guess it
Oh,
could have been like kind of a shape of a heart, but there's no
yeah, I thought
downward
so.
part or anything like that.
Uh,
It's just the top maybe of a heart. I don't know.
so
Maybe
then
I'm crazy. I didn't notice it though.
so Shuri and by the way, Shuri has an AI like Jarvis, and I forget what she calls him.
Yeah, I forget too.
Yeah, but it's damn near like Jarvis. So she
Yeah.
ends up finding the combination to make the plant, and she makes it.
You know who it's voiced by? I think they said it was voiced by Trevor Noah.
No
I'm
way.
pretty sure they said that. Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'll have to
look
double
right
check
now.
it, but I'm pretty sure it was voiced by Trevor Noah.
I don't see it, but okay. Um, so they make the herb. Her and Nikita and Riri are there, and they don't do like the old ritual where they bury them. She does it on like one of her medical beds, and she goes into her what do you want to call it, vision or whatever, and she ends up like she wakes up in the water, gets out, and she's in the place where her mom drowned.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's nothing like the
Yeah,
first Black Panther at all. It's not
nothing.
mystical or beautiful. It's rageful. It's fire and
Right.
just death in there,
And
you
then
know?
so she sees the throne and she sees like hair sticking out. And she's like, oh, mom. Turns the corner and who it
Your
is?
favorite.
Killmonger. And he's like, what's up, little cousin? I'm like, oh.
You little shit.
Killmonger is in his like, he's trying to look. Did he wear that before? Did
I
he
don't
wear that
remember him
outfit
wearing
before?
that. I mean,
But anyways, he has
he
like,
had the marks on him for sure,
yeah, yeah.
but
But he
not
has
that
like a
white
white
outfit.
robe on.
Yeah.
He has a white robe on, like looking pure. But he's not. And so she's confused, like, wait, why did they pick you? And you
Because the
gotta
state of mind
remember,
you're in.
that, once you drink that herb, you get to see all the previous Black Panthers. And in the first movie, Killmonger was a Black Panther, even though he had the armor. I think I forgot what they called it. They called it something Jaguar, I think. But he was considered a Black Panther because he drunk the herb and all that. So she sees him.
When he went, he saw his father, right?
He saw his father
Okay. Yeah.
in the apartment, and that little sequence.
Yeah.
So she's confused. He's like, yeah, you're the Black Panther now. So what you gonna do about it? I know what just happened to you. So are you gonna be like your brother and just be a pushover, or are you gonna handle your business?
No, I like when he says too. He's like, "I'll tell you right now, your mom would have killed that girl.
Yeah,
She would have killed the scientist if you brought her back."
yeah. So he's just like convincing her, or like, yeah, and she's still full of rage. She just lost her mom, like probably a few hours ago, whatever. And so, and then last year she lost her brother.
Mm-hmm.
So she's in that mind state, like, yeah, what my brother didn't work. Yeah, maybe you have to get on this Killmonger hype, you know. And so she comes out, and she is like embarrassed, not embarrassed, but probably shamed for who she saw and probably what she's gonna do.
Yep.
So she doesn't tell not Shuri, Nikita, who she saw. She's like, I didn't see nobody, right?
Yeah.
And so I
She
forget
said
what
like
was.
it didn't work, and then she punches something, and it goes like a mile that way.
Yeah, she punches it the first time and doesn't do nothing, and then she punches the second time, and that's when it goes flying. And then Nikita's like, shit, and then Riri's like, can I get some of that? So Shuri goes down to her office, and she gets the. It seemed like she already had a costume or a suit ready for her, huh?
It almost looked kind of like Killmonger's suit, and she like modified it or something.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. So in the meantime, they evacuated the main city of Wakanda, and they go to M'Baku's place, in the ice hills and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where the refugees are at right now.
Yeah, and they're all
And
having a
so
meeting.
all having a meeting.
And then she just like drops straight down, Black Panther style.
Yeah, and that's what we see in the trailer. She drops down, and she does this tug of war with not tug of war, arm wrestle with M'Baku, and M'Baku's like, okay, you got it.
You got
Yeah, you got it.
it. I yield.
And Baku's probably like, I don't even know why I try anymore. So they come up with a plan, like, yo, let's strike first. And like we gotta figure out what Namor. Like Namor is basically and this is what I saw on the internet. They're like, yeah, they basically made a Hispanic Black Panther. Like he's damn near like the same thing. He has no parents. He has no parents. His little thing, just like Wakanda's like this. They got this little mouth open thing.
Yeah.
It's all about his people. He's a king and stuff. He has superhuman strength. So, like, this is like a Hispanic. But anyways, they're trying to figure out how can we beat him. Like, what's his weakness? And they figure out like, oh, when he was attacking us, he always had to go back in the water. So maybe we have to keep out the water long enough, and he'll get weaker.
Yeah.
And so that's their plan. And so, do they summon him? We fast forward. Do they summon him?
Oh yeah, they basically trick him.
Oh no, they tricked him. Yeah. So they're like, we found another.
But before we go to that, I want to specify this is really important. I feel like M'Baku and her have a chat, like a real chat, like straight up. What are we gonna do about this guy when we defeat him? Are you gonna kill him, or are you gonna let him live? Because if you kill him, they didn't just call him by one name. They called him by like a god's name. They think he's a god, and if you kill somebody's god,
it's an
internal war. That's not like a small war. She's like, I don't care. Straight up. Yeah. I'm still probably just gonna kill this dude. And then you go to the trap after that. Yeah. So they put that machine back in the water so that they sense it. Because they know that as soon as they put it in the water and it's doing its thing looking for vibranium, they're gonna come right to it.
Right.
So they set a trap for them. They know exactly where they're gonna be, and they're using this ship to attack them. And everything goes from there. So if you want to take it away from there.
Yeah, so they set a trap and they let off this high frequency noise that shoos away the whales, and it's too much for the people in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And Wakanda has like this battleship.
Thing's huge.
Yeah, the thing is huge. And so it's a battleship like a tank times 2 on wheels.
And that thing's got to be made of like full vibranium, right?
Yeah,
I would assume.
And so they go fight the Tulicons. And they get okay. Oh damn! I can't say her name.
They give Okoye and that other girl with the knives.
Can you take it away? Can you finish this up?
Me? All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, they give that girl and Okoye, the girl with the knives, and Okoye. She makes them new suits, which she's been mentioning through the whole movie.
Right.
But you finally actually see like the
what was it called?
Results of it.
They're called the.
I don't remember what they were called.
The flying. It was fine.
They look badass though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought they looked really good. I didn't think they looked dumb at all. So. And they come out of nowhere and start fighting. She's like, let's do the rematch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't remember the entire fight anymore. I remember that Namor comes out because he knows that he's been lured out. It's a trap. And he starts taking out some of the ships again, I think. Mm-hmm. And at some point they weaken him enough because they're all working to keep him out of the water. Right. And when he starts to get weak to go into the water, they capture him in a ship. And the ship has this like
heater,
yeah, and it's like just dehydrating him completely. So that's like the plan that they're going for right now. She hasn't decided if she's going to kill him. And then Okoye has her match with his right hand man.
I think his name was Atuma.
That might be it.
Atuma. Yeah, Atuma.
Yeah, and of course, Shuri's the Black Panther. She's like jumping on things and sliding down the side of the craft and just taking people out left and right. Mm-hmm. And then jumps in the ship with when she,
Namor.
yeah, when they capture Namor, she jumps in the ship with him and wants to take him to the desert where there's like no
Right.
water or anything, where she can just finish him off basically.
Yeah.
And while that's happening, there's a whole battle going on the ship. I don't remember every part of the battle though. What do you remember about the battle?
Um, just a battle.
Yeah, right. I mean, there wasn't. That's the thing. The
They let
last
off
battle again wasn't as memorable
They
as.
have those water bombs again,
Yeah.
where it tips their ship over and
Yeah.
everybody almost falls into the water.
I remember that girl, his right hand girl, actually gets like at the bottom of the ship and takes out that thing with a spear or something. Finally takes that out, and that's when it enables everybody to get up the ship, and start having like a real like battle at sea, which I thought was pretty sick.
Yeah. And you see Ironheart's new armor in action.
Yep.
And she kind of helped capture Namor too.
Exactly. She's the one who tried to keep him out of the water. That was like her job.
So they get to the desert.
Yeah.
Crash the ship because he was damaged on the way.
Yeah, he wouldn't let himself get like too far out, so he just destroyed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, to get out. He's hella strong, man. That dude is powerful.
So they crash land into a desert and they have their little battle. It was okay. You know, Shuri is not really as martial artsy as T'Challa.
No, she definitely doesn't have the fighting experience.
Definitely not.
That he does, and he uses that to his advantage because he grabs something straight out of the sand and puts her in a rock, right? Just stabs her through the stomach, like, and jams her into a rock.
Right.
Like that battle was pretty fierce, though, man. She's like digging into his skin and stuff, and just like tearing him up.
By the way, if you guys are wondering, like, how come he didn't fly away? That's because she cut off his wings on his little ankles.
Dude.
So savage. She was like, she planned this all out. Like she had everything planned.
Yep.
And so like Mr. Awesome was saying, stabbed her, got like this big thorn sharp rock, stabbed her, which held her into a rock, and then she ended up like breaking it off.
Because he was trying to escape he was trying to escape to the sea again. And then she wound up kind of passing out, and that's when she heard her mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she breaks the rock off, gets out, prevents him from jumping in the water, and I thought she was going. I didn't see this coming. I thought she was like going to fight him again because he's like weakened. He's like, okay,
yeah, he was done.
Come on,
I could do this all day,
right? And then she says Wakanda Forever, which sets off a code into the crash ship and explodes and messes up his back, and he's like out.
That was pretty cool. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that was cool. And so here's the part where she has to choose: do I kill him or do I let him live? And she's like, she's about to kill him, but then does she hear her mom? Yeah, she hears her mom, right?
Yeah.
So show him who you are. And she kind of snaps out of it. She's like, yo, we could be alliances. Wakanda will protect you, this and this, that. And, you know, him being defeated, I kind of wonder, like, did he say that just to live and come back? Because he yields. He says, I yield.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, is he really like yielding because he's taking her offer, or he's taking her offer for now until he gets better and then attacks again, like when they least expect it?
Yeah.
So they fly back, and he tells his people, "Hey, this battle's over. Let's go home." I thought that was kind of I thought that was kind of I was like, it could have been better, you know. But they go home, and the battle's over.
Yep.
So I found the girl's name, Namor's girl.
Okay.
Her name is Namora.
Okay. And she's very displeased with the result of this battle.
Right. She's like, yo, I've been waiting to battle with you, and you yield? What's going on?
Yeah.
And he explains to her, like, yo, the surface is going to attack Wakanda.
Yeah,
you
no
know,
doubt in my mind. It's
no
gonna
doubt
happen.
it's going to happen. He's like, I haven't been wrong since yet.
Yeah.
So he's like, so when that time comes, they're going to need us, and this is when we'll be allies, and we could attack the surface together. So he's like, he's almost getting hit what he wanted, right? In a way, just got to wait a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think, like, after they defeat the surface, is he going to turn around and attack Wakanda again while they're like down?
Who knows?
Who knows, right?
Yeah,
So,
because he's not exactly a hero, man. He's more of a anti-hero, almost villain in the
right,
comics, I believe. So
right.
yeah.
And so, we get to. Do we get to where she visits the kid? Oh,
Well, first you got to
no,
go.
no,
So
no.
while this battle's happening too, you find out that Everett got set up by Val,
Mm-hmm.
um, because she bugged the beads, so he knew that he was committing treason the whole time. And he says the
Right.
same thing. He's like, "Please don't do this. I
Val
owe
is
them my
smart.
life." Yeah, she's
Val is always a step ahead of
yeah,
everybody.
yeah, all the
Go
time.
ahead.
She always knows what's going on. Well, that's CIA, right?
Yep.
And she arrests him herself. You see her take out cuffs like right there in his own kitchen, just
Right.
to take him out. And then after the battle, after everything we talked about, one of the first things she does, I believe, is go break out Everett to take him to Wakanda.
Okoye.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Okoye.
Yeah. So, and that was funny. She's like, "Oh, the colonizer in cuffs." She's like, "Now I see it. Now I seen everything." So
Can
we,
you get me out of here?
yeah. So we get to, we're back at Wakanda, and they're at that waterfall where they like. This is
Oh yeah,
where
where the
they,
ritual's gonna happen, right? Where
yeah,
she has to fight anyone who wants to challenge her,
yeah,
and then who shows
and
up?
yeah. So the ship comes, and this is where the Black Panther is supposed to pop out. But who is it? Umbaku. He's like,
Baku.
yeah, I have a message for you. Sure could have come. So
Yeah, you want to challenge me? Let's
yeah.
go.
So um
And I feel like that's basically gonna be like he's gonna be kind of the king, and she's just gonna
right,
be the Black Panther, kind of like the weapon of the king, almost.
right,
I feel like that's how it's gonna be,
right.
right? That's I right. That's what you feel.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like M'Baku's finally gonna get something. You know, he
Yeah,
wanted to be the Black Panther, but the king is probably the next best thing.
that's the vibe I
So
got anyway. Because I
yeah,
mean, otherwise, why would he show? So I feel like he's gonna be the king. She's just gonna be still doing the science stuff and be the Black Panther if they need it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure she's not made to rule. You know, that's
No.
not her.
No.
Not at all. So her mom's gone, the brother's gone, like Nikita's not there.
Yeah.
Okoye, she's just
Hey, you did it, man.
a soldier. Thank you. She's just a soldier.
Let's go.
So yeah, she's like, yeah, this. I'm not the politic guy, woman. I'm not made to
Yeah.
be on the council. So she ends up going to Nikita, back to Haiti.
Yeah.
And she takes her mom's healing ritual in consideration, and she burns the robes.
Yeah. Finally, after
Finally
everything,
burns the robes.
she finally
And
mourns.
yep. And then you just see her go through like her brother's images and stuff like that, which was like it
I
was
like that a
touching.
lot. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
touching.
it was touching.
Yeah, that
Um,
bummed me out too. I was like, oh
yeah.
man.
It makes you want to watch the movie over again, because when
Yeah.
you see those images, you're like, that's like classic images. Like
Yeah.
that's it, like it almost makes it feel like this movie made it solidified and certified Black Panther as a classic.
Yeah, I mean,
And it makes you
especially
want
I think the one I like the most because it's her and her brother is when they first like meet in the science thing and they're like doing the whole little shake thing.
to, yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, oh man,
yeah. So
it sucks to lose that.
so Nikita comes, she's like, hey, can I join you now? She's like, yeah. And she has this boy with her. And I knew it. As soon as the boy came, I was like,
I knew it
I
too.
knew it.
I was like,
knew
there's
it.
no way there's not a kid here. It's
Right.
got to be the reason that she goes. But I thought the interesting part was that because the mother talks to her way in the middle of the movie, right? And she
Right.
says she left 6 years ago.
Right.
So apparently, but at least this is the vibe again I got because I think she even says it. He told me he was sick before the battle with Thanos.
Mm.
and I left because she wasn't there during the battle of Thanos. He already left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he knew that she was pregnant, and she didn't want anyone to know about it because he wanted
Both of
his
them.
kid to grow
Yeah.
up and
A
yeah,
normal out of the Wakanda,
right.
all that
And then he got
royalty.
blipped. So the kid's growing up this whole time,
Right.
right? While he's gone, and then she didn't want to go back to the funeral with the kid because then again they would know about him. So
Right.
that's why she didn't go to the funeral.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah. So she's like, yeah, here's your auntie. And Shuri's like in the middle of tears, like, what? More news? Like,
Hey, at least it's good news,
right.
right?
Like, dang, I had a nephew this whole time.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, so
I know. You think knowing would have helped her a little bit, maybe.
probably, yeah.
So,
Like,
yeah.
okay,
But,
there's some blood left.
But
There's
let's not
blood.
do that.
Yeah,
Let's just let her
yeah.
feel like shit.
So
The whole move.
Shuri goes like, did the queen know? She's like, yeah, she knew. Like, everybody knew but you. Shuri's just like, God dang, how much can I take through this movie?
The queen got you.
So the boy tells Shuri his name, and it's like a Haitian name, right? And I don't know why they did this, but yeah, the boy says, "Oh yeah, my name is such and that."
Was
and
it like
it's just like
or something like that?
yes, it's some Haitian name, right?
Yeah.
And then like the next minute he goes, "Yeah, can I tell you a secret? Something is my Haitian name. My Wakanda name is T'Challa." And Shuri's just like, "Oh gosh, oh
right.
more tears,
Future
more
king,
tears.
future king of Wakanda. He says too. I think he actually says that. I think
Oh,
he says,
did?
I think he says future king of Wakanda.
Oh, I gotta. Yeah, but yeah, that was it. There was no after credits, or that was after credits.
That basically was the after credits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be something else, but or more.
Yeah.
But
that kind of bummed me out a little bit, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know, guys. We went like through the whole movie, but yeah, it was a movie I felt like we had to review and go through. And like I said, we both gave it the same rating.
Right around. Yeah.
I'm gonna go see it again. I will go see it again in the theaters because I saw it in the theaters. That wasn't IMAX. It wasn't feature. It was some low mom and pop theater that's next to my house. I only paid like $5.
Same thing, dude. I just needed to find a way to go see it.
So and I kind of regret it because during those dark scenes, you know, when Namor first shows up,
yeah,
all those dark scenes, it didn't look good in the theaters. I'm like, I can't make out what I'm looking at, you know?
Yeah.
So next time I'll probably go see it in the IMAX. Or you know,
Dolby
I know
Atmos
like
or something.
Yeah, or maybe Century XD when, you know, like Tuesdays I think they have a discount, I believe, on Tuesday. So I'll go see it then and get like full quality or good better quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay.
I wonder if this movie ties into the next movies, all the other movies coming up. Secret Invasion, Kang Dynasty.
Right.
I wonder if
I think Everett Ross is in Secret Invasion.
Wars, my bad. Yeah.
I think Everett Ross is in Secret Invasion, so it's going to tie into there in some way. Because I think they're going to have to go to Wakanda to get him. So.
Yeah.
Anything else? I mean, obviously Val's involved. So are the Thunderbolts going to raid Wakanda? Like, because they're supposed to do missions that, you know, Captain America ain't going to want to do. You know what I mean? And Sam Wilson sure as hell isn't going to go to Wakanda. He knows them. He's not going to betray them.
Right.
So, I mean, you got a crew like that can infiltrate and destabilize, right?
Right.
I don't see why that wouldn't happen. Will it? I don't know. But that's their job, to go on missions that no one else will do, and that's a mission that probably not many people want to do.
Right. So yeah,
so because Val's involved, there's a lot of different possibilities.
Right. Yeah, I just hope there was a after credits that would make you think, oh yeah, cool, this is what, you know, this is tying into the future movies. But
yeah, and I mean, if Doctor Doom's out there, or they're gonna bring Doctor Doom soon, I know he's very interested in vibranium. That's like his thing. Who knows, even maybe the people that were that were digging that thing and that tried to get a hold of that machine that detects Wakanda. Maybe that's him. Who knows? Because he's kind of like science and magic combined, Doctor Doom, right?
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean, that seems like his mo. You know,
yeah.
he's got metal all over him. Why not have a vibranium suit, right?
Right.
But that's about my only tie-in that I can think of that would happen
Yeah.
from this movie.
Right. So Wakanda forever. So Shuri's a
Wakanda
Black
forever.
Panther. Um. Yeah. So what now? Andor or anything else
Oh, dude,
from Black
Andor.
Panther?
Yeah, I'm down for talking to Andor.
Okay,
You saw
Andor.
it,
Yeah,
right?
let's go. Yeah, I just watched it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's super fresh
Yeah.
in your mind. All right,
Yeah.
you go first then. You start.
Um. Let's see. It was the best part was Lucian. In his ship,
Oh yeah,
and it's
that's the
it's
very
decked
end
out.
though. That's the very
Yeah,
end.
it's
Let's
decked out than you thought.
let's start from the
He has.
beginning. Let's break it
Yeah.
down.
Okay. So,
You can talk about that though if you want. I'll let you
how did it
finish it
start
off.
off? Did it start off with Andor and the guy hanging off the cliff?
Either that or it was Mothra first. It was one of the two. It was either political stuff or it was them hanging off the cliff first. I can't remember
Yeah.
which.
So, I can't remember like the political stuff. I could. I'll admit. I'll let you handle that. The political stuff I didn't really follow.
Okay.
This episode. But yeah, Andar and one of the escaped prisoners, they're hanging off a cliff and they're like hiding from the Empire. There's a Tie Reaper, I think that's what it's called. Tie Reaper is scouting and trying to find them, man. They're hanging on the edge of a cliff, like, yo, like, are they gone yet?
Mm-hmm.
And the fingers and feet are all, yeah, especially the feet. The feet were tore up.
Tore up. Yeah,
And
that guy said he couldn't even feel his fingers anymore.
yeah. And so they end up finding two aliens and a quad jumper, which looks like the same quad jumper from Force Awakens
Okay.
before it gets blown up.
I knew quad jumper
When
sounded familiar. I'm like, where have I
Yeah.
heard quad jumper before?
So if you guys remember in Force Awakens when Rey and Finn are running away from the TIE fighters, Rey's like, let's go to this quad jumper.
And then they destroy it,
And
right?
yeah, they shoot it up, and then they're like, "Oh, the junk will do," and it ends up being a Millennium Falcon. I remember when I was in the theaters and I saw that, I was like, "Ooh!"
I know, me too. I was losing my mind.
Right. So, anyways, they get captured, and you know what? I couldn't really follow. Maybe I have to watch again and put subtitles on, but I couldn't. It
I
was
did. I
hard
put
for me to.
subtitles on to hear what they were
Yeah,
saying.
it was hard for
Yeah.
me to understand what those aliens were saying.
Yeah, one of them
'Cause
was
one of
actually
them-
wasn't even speaking English at
Right.
all.
Exactly. Yeah, it took me a while.
Yeah.
But one of them was talking English, but it was in like an accent that was very hard to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was just like grunting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I forget even the reason why they let him go.
Oh,
they
well,
captured him
because so
with
they're
a net.
saying, I'll tell you, because I actually watched the subtitles. So they're talking about how they think they're from the prison and they're poisoning their water and their environment because they're
Okay.
ruining the water, I guess, for the fish and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, because they
Um,
captured those two Andor and the guy with a fish net.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they think they're like prison guards or something like that, or have to do with the prison.
Uh-huh.
And then when they find out that they're not, like that they're just prisoners, like, dude, we just came from the prison, man. Like we're not with the Empire at all. We're just escapees or whatever. Let's
Right.
talk. And then they're like, oh, all right, let's let him go. And then they all
Right.
get in the ship and fly off.
Yeah.
But that's basically what they said because they don't like the Empire because they're ruining that facility is ruining the water supply because the flow of water and stuff
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they do.
yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's why.
Yeah. And that's only two prisoners you see, the Andor and that one guy. You don't see no other prisoners.
No, you have no idea
no
what happened to the
mention,
other
yeah.
people, man. And a lot of people were
that
swimming.
Yeah. Maybe a lot of people didn't make it.
That's possible.
Shit. But anyways, then we go to the political Martha.
Oh yeah. So it starts off with Val going to the Luthen's place, his little curator place, and she kind of refuses to talk the way that they want to talk. She's kind of being an asshole, actually, and not being coded at all, and starting some problems. And what did she say? She told her that Kazian's mom died, right?
Right.
Right. So she wanted to relay that message to Luthen since he wasn't there. And then after she starts her stuff in there, then she goes and sees Mon Mothra because I guess she's her cousin or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. They're cousins.
And she's like panicked, like she's really worried. Like I don't know what those kids were doing, what she was into, if it's like some weird religion that she doesn't believe in,
Yeah, it
or
sounded like they were praying or something
yeah, I
something.
don't know if it's an Empire thing or what. But apparently her daughter's like really into it. Um, and she notices that she's like really worried, like what's going on. And she's saying, well, it was fine moving my money around at first, and then at the end I noticed that there was a real big stipulation that I couldn't get rid of, and if I got investigated, because she brought in Tay to take a look at her funds to see if he could fix it, and it turns out that this thing can't be fixed if she gets like investigated. She's basically SOL.
Yeah.
So that's why she has to get together with the, she found a solution, but it means she didn't actually say Davos, but we all know that that's her solution, right? If she introduces her daughter to Davos's son,
Uh-huh.
she basically gets bailed out because he knows the way to move the money around, doesn't look suspicious. And I think she owes like, what is it, like $400,000 or something like that?
Something.
Something like that. And that's not something you can just get anywhere. Um, so that's basically how that went. And then it goes to what? I think the guy, right? The Empire guy?
He wakes up
Yeah.
and the mom's like, "Oh, you got a call," and it's one of his buddies,
His mom's a piece of
and
work, man.
yeah, it's one of his buddies, and his buddies is on intercom, video intercom, and he's like in a shop or a warehouse or something where there's a lot of noise, and he's trying to relay the message. He's like, and he basically says, "Yeah, Andor's mom's dead, so most likely the way you can catch Andor is at her funeral." And so there's another part where they were in the mom's house,
Yeah, with that
and
poor robot.
yeah, the poor robot, he's like, "Oh yeah, don't leave me alone," and stuff like that. And that's where I was like, okay, is she really dead,
Mm-hmm.
or are they just saying she's dead to spread the word
It,
and to
it
get
seems to
Andor
me like
back?
she's dead.
Yeah, because I didn't see no body, remember?
Well, you
So
saw something getting dragged out, but you're right. You didn't see the actual face.
right,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
if it
You
is
might be right,
true,
man. You might be right. I might be totally fooled right now. I don't know.
and but if it's true, we said this last episode that she's not gonna make it, and this is the episode we
Yeah,
find out.
yeah. I
So
just thought it'd be in a different way that she wasn't going to make it.
right. So what happens after that? Do we get to no, we don't get to Andor. We get to
I think it's
Lucian?
well, you get to Andor one more time. Um or do you get to Luthen first when he talks to Saul?
Yeah, that first, I believe.
Okay.
So go ahead, take that
Oh, you
away.
want me to take that away?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see Luthen show up to Saul's place again. And the thing that he was telling him to get involved with Krieg, the plan in the earlier episodes, and he wasn't sure if he wanted to do it or whatever. Now he's like, tell Krieg I'm down. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't think you should do that anymore. And he's like, what? Why do you want me to get involved now? And he's
Lucian,
like, well, it might
gosh.
not it might not be safe anymore. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I have a source that says that it's a trap or whatever, something like that, right? And he's like, where do you get your source from? He's like, that's not important. Just you don't want to be involved in this anymore. And he's like, well, you're not going to tell him, are you? He's like, 30 men. You're not going to tell him. And Krieg, he says. He keeps saying, and Krieg. He's like, what do you, I mean, that's basically all he says. He's like, you're not going to tell him. And what makes you think I'm not going to tell him? He's like, well, I don't. You're the wild card here.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, right? But Saul is a heretic, and Saul is super dedicated to the cause. And just like I thought, and you thought, he doesn't do anything. He's like, all right, let's just We're gonna let him die, I guess. He's like, how many
Right.
other sources do you have here? You got anybody in my thing? And he just like calls somebody out real quick, like, yeah, it's this
Right.
guy. And he freaks out just enough to distract him enough to put a gun to Saul's face. It's
Right.
like, you're not thinking rationally right now. All right? So think about it. If you tell him, what's that going to do? It's going to give up my source, and we're not going to have any more access, and everything's going to be sealed off. Where if you don't tell them, they're going to think everything's normal, they're going to think everything's peachy, and they're not going to suspect a thing. What would you
Right.
rather have? And he's just like, okay.
Right.
That's basically it. That's how that meeting went. And then I think they go back to Andor again after that.
Yeah. So Andor, is that when he's in his house or he's in a house, right? And
Yeah,
he
he
gets
goes
his
back to
gun.
that hotel room that he was at. Yeah,
Yeah, he gets his credits and his gun.
I knew he was going there.
Um,
It's like that money's
and
got to still be there.
right, and he calls. I forget who that person. Oh, before that, do we get to that woman that was getting tortured last time?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they don't really
Yes.
do much with her though. They just ask her if the person that she introduced, and by the way, she's tore up. Whatever
Yeah.
that thing did, it wrecked her. It kind of
And
reminded
was
me
like,
again of Rogue One with that pilot, where he was
yeah,
kind of like completely out of it, but she wasn't even speaking.
yeah.
Like,
She's physically
yeah,
like damaged. She has her lips like look like she hasn't drunk in like 2 days because
mm-hmm,
they're really chapped in white. She has like bags underneath her eyes,
yeah.
and they asked her like, "Hey, is this?" They put up a hologram of a person. Like, is this the person you introduced to Andor?
And the hologram is
And
Krieger, the guy who was
yeah,
about to get wrecked.
and so it looks like she's about to give it up, but then she's like,
She should have
she
said
just turns
yes.
away, and it's like, damn, she is.
Tough.
How much longer can you hold on? Woof.
But yeah, good
So
call out. I forgot about that.
yeah, so then we get to Andor,
Yeah.
back at the hotel, getting his credits and his gun, and he makes a call to I forget who it is, but he's like, yeah, don't say my name, but you know who this is, but don't say my name, okay? But tell such and such I love. Did he say I love her or I think about her?
Yeah, I'm thinking about her and
Yeah.
yeah.
And the guy he says his name again. He's like, yo, Andor's like, so stop saying my name. Just deliver this message. And the guy finally says, hey man, your mom died. And Andor's like, shit. And he goes back to that prisoner, and I forget what happens, what they talk about. Basically nothing, right?
Yeah, the prisoner basically says he gives him a gun. The prisoner basically says we need to let people know what's going on there.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of the prisoner's mission right now. The other guy's
Right.
mission is just to go out there and tell the world what they're doing to people
Mm-hmm.
for no reason and what they're building, maybe too.
Yeah.
Who knows? So obviously they're building something,
Right.
and that's why they're not letting them leave. Because probably even after they were done building everything, they probably just would have killed everybody.
Right.
Because no one's leaving there alive. So,
Right.
um,
So
that's
then we get to Lucian.
yeah. Then we get to Luthen. Go ahead, man.
Then we
Yeah,
get
I
to
know.
Lucian,
I know
yeah.
you're ready for this.
So Lucian's leaving Sal. Or was his name Sal? Sar?
Yeah, Saul or Sal.
Saul. That's Saul, yeah. And Imperial ship, mostly like a tracking beam ship, because it has like 3 big satellites on it. They stop him, get him in the tractor beam, and they start questioning him. And Sal's like, not Sal. Lucian's like, he's preparing. He's like, all right, we gotta get the hell out of here. Right? If they catch me, it's done for. So get in a cockpit. He's trying to buy himself some time. Tries his thrusters to try to get out of there, and doesn't work. And they're like, yo, there's been the Empire's like, there's been activity around here where be prepared to get boarded, okay? And Lucian's not having it. And so he lets out this compartment from a ship, and it's like all these, I don't know what they are, but they end up destroying the
Yeah,
satellite.
from the back. Yeah, they're like countermeasures. Yeah.
They end up destroying the middle satellite, which breaks them free from the tractor beam. The Empire's like, yo, send the fighters out. And so
Before you
alone,
get to that, I'm sorry. I have to again say they're so arrogant. Like the
right.
guy when he's trying to get away, he's like, "Does he really think he's gonna get away from us?" It's
Yeah,
like,
what are you
whatever.
doing?
Yeah, I can't
Please
believe
turn your
he's even
engines off.
trying this. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then he just wrecks them. Like,
right.
go ahead. I can't. They just never learn.
So
It's
he gets away from the tractor beam. He has a turret on the top of a ship, and him by himself with the little computer doesn't even do nothing.
dude. He's
The little
just a
computer,
hell of a shot.
yeah, the computer is just trying to get the hyperdrive ready, and Lucian is doing everything himself. Like he took out what 4 TIE fighters, and
Yeah, I
then the
think
last
so.
one,
Three or four. Yeah.
last thing he does, I look like his wings go up, and these lasers come out the side, and he does like a barrel roll and kills the rest of the TIE fighters,
Yeah,
almost like
dude.
how
This like basically it's a spinning weapon.
right
Yeah, it was. So, it reminded me of obviously remember
was it Iron Man?
Avengers. Yeah, remember Iron Man and Avengers when he had the
Yeah,
little laser,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
thing that could cut through like anything.
yeah,
That's what it reminded me of, like that type of thing.
yeah. So, that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of Cyborg in the Snyder cut of Justice League
Oh, okay.
at the end. Cyborg does like the same thing when he's going through buildings. So Lucian has that. Lucian doesn't even break a sweat. Like Lucian has done this before. Like this is he's like, oh, just 4 fighters.
He
Okay,
was
yeah,
ready. He was
yeah,
definitely
he was
ready.
ready. So
And then
and he
just
jumped to
like
light
goes
speed.
into warp speed on that little ship, just
Right.
gone.
That's what I was waiting for that
Or
because I
light
see
speed,
that
whatever it's called.
I saw that in the trailer, so I was like, when's this battle about to happen? And it was actually Lucian. I thought it was Andor, but Lucian did it. He looked old, but he got it. He's ready.
Dude definitely knows
So,
how to handle himself.
so what was at the end of it? What happened at the end?
I think that was it. It goes to that, and then it goes to. I think we may have skipped something. Like I think the Andor part was the last part.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that was it. Yeah. So we have one more episode left.
one more episode.
We keep finding out like, yo, the rebels look like they're just as bad as the Empire, like morally. Like you're like, they should be called something else.
Yep. Oh, dude, even Saul says for the greater good.
Right.
He says that, like word for word, for the greater good.
Right.
They think that they're right.
I feel like this last episode is gonna be a longer episode. This one was only like 48 minutes.
Yeah, I hope this episode's the longest, like over an hour.
Yeah.
I hope. I should look it up. I think it'll probably say how long the episode is by now.
Because there's so many. We know Andor is gonna do something about his mom. He's either gonna visit or go to a funeral, do something. He's gonna return back, right? That's what's going. We still got to worry about the girl that got tortured.
Yeah, everything's
So
gonna go down in Ferrix. That's
Yeah.
just how it's gonna be. I just hope that it's a really long episode to get some.
And that's what
some
the
things
episode was called, Daughter of Ferrix.
Mm-hmm.
So and then we got to figure out what's going on with Mom Martha. Because is she calling herself her name is something else right now, right?
You know, the whole time. Remember how this whole show started looking for his sister? There's been no mention or anything about her. I wonder if we're even gonna see her at all.
Oh yeah, it stopped talking about that by what, the second, third episode?
Yeah, I don't know if the writers decided to drop it or if we're just supposed to forget about it.
I forgot.
It's not possible that Cinta could be his sister, is it?
I don't know. We'll have to see. We have to see.
I don't know. It's like another wild theory I have of mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's any other news you want to talk about.
I think that's it. I don't hear no more Marvel news. No more DC news.
Yeah, there was something about Spider-Man and the Silk movies or something like that, but I didn't read about it yet, so I don't know. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Too, for next episode.
Black Panther was the last comic book movie out, coming out.
This year?
That was the last. Yeah,
Trying
the
to
last
think.
one.
Is Ant-Man next year?
February.
Okay, then yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and what's the next series? Disney Plus series. There's
Probably
Echo,
Secret
right?
Invasion.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe
Was it Echo
I'll have to
first?
look it up. You know what?
Yeah.
I will look up. I'm gonna put this in my itinerary right now. I'm gonna look up the Phase 4 and 5 thing. And I'll make sure I know the order for next time. And make sure to watch all the Teen Titans. And I'll watch some Tales of the Jedi too. We can talk about that.
Oh, hey, did you watch those clips I sent you?
No, I will though. I really haven't had too much time. I got on a stream last night and I was just having so much fun playing
Oh, how
Dragon
much?
Ball, dude.
How'd your tournament go?
Oh, it went okay. I went 1-2. It's better than sometimes what I usually do.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's a new team, so I was actually happy with that result. But
You were using Krillin. You're like I think one of your first teams was Krillin and somebody else,
yeah,
right?
I
Two other
love
people.
Krillin. He's
Who's
he's
your new
great.
team now?
But right now it's you saw the Dragon Ball Super movie, right? Broly.
No. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah.
So Super Broly's in Dragon Ball, so I use him. I use base Vegeta, which is like Vegeta from like the Saiyan saga.
Yeah, the
You know,
armor, same
yeah, the
armor.
original Vegeta like didn't have Super Saiyan or anything like that.
Yeah.
And also base Goku, same thing from the Saiyan saga, who has like the
Okay.
Kaioken.
Yeah.
So that's the
I
team
still
I'm
haven't
using right
seen
now.
that the newest Dragon Ball movie, Superhero.
Oh, you
I
haven't
still
seen
haven't
it
seen
yet?
it yet. Nah, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And every time I see like a thumbnail, I don't click on it because I know there's like another form of Gohan and Piccolo in there. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
don't.
don't want to spoil anything for you. Hopefully, it won't get spoiled. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I got. You see, my light didn't go out. The batteries, they're doing their job.
All right.
Yeah, and I still haven't opened up my ring lights yet. So,
Okay.
but yeah, that's it. So, guys, podcast is out. If you guys haven't already, if you enjoy our content, please subscribe. You know, we're trying to get this podcast one of the best ones out there for geeks, us geeks. You know what I'm saying? And we got a lot of content to talk about because we have there's a plan for Marvel and DC. Looks like they have a plan. They got a good guy on the team now, James Gunn. So we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We're not gonna run out of content, and yeah. So be sure to subscribe. Once again, guys, I am Ron Deasy, and we got my host.
Got Mr. Awesome.
You can follow Mr. Awesome on Mr. Awesome's Neighborhood on YouTube and Twitch,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then me, you can find me all over all the social media under Ron Deasy. I'm the only one out there.
Yeah, feel free to leave comments. Let us know what you think of the show, what we can, change, what you like, what you don't like.
Yeah,
we'll
give us
work on
some
it.
topics to talk about. Like,
Oh, sure, yeah.
we I think we really enjoyed our top 3 villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do more segments like that.
Yeah, that was fun. That got me thinking a little bit.
Yeah. Wait, guys. We'll see you guys next time on the next episode of Two Nerds Are Better Than One. We are out.
All right. Later, guys. Thanks for watching.